Hello and welcome to QNN. I am Matthew Pisani. In the news today, television lost a legendary mom. Florence Henderson, most notably of the Brady Bunch, died at the age of 82. Florence has appeared and hosted many shows throughout the years, and most recently she has appeared on shows such as 30 Rock and Dancing with the Stars. Henderson died of heart failure on Thanksgiving Day. Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein is contesting the election results. Stein raised millions of dollars online to fund this recount, and she entered the petition right before the 5 p.m. deadline on November 25th. Initially, the election results were too close to call, and this recount is due by December 13th. College football's best rivalry lived up to its expectations for sure. Curtis Samuel of Ohio State was the hero of the day. After barely converting a 4th and 1, Samuel went 15 yards for the game-winning score in overtime. The Buckeyes won 30-27, and the crowd rushed to field. Ohio State looks to make the college football playoff for the second consecutive year with only one loss this season. But moving from American football to New Zealand-style football, rugby, the Quinnipiac University women's rugby team has won a second straight national title. The Bobcats defeated Central Washington 46-24. Junior Flora Poole has been a part of both of these titles, and she has certainly lived a very eventful life before coming here to Quinnipiac. Flora was born in England and raised in New Zealand and has been playing rugby since she was 8 years old. I sat down with Flora for an interview to get an inside look at one of the team's leaders. The first thing I asked Flora was how it felt to win back-to-back national championships.
It's a little surreal, but it hasn't quite kicked in yet, I don't think. But it feels absolutely fantastic, and to beat, especially after the season, we beat Central Washington, a team that we've never beaten before. So it just proved to us that we can do it and our capability as a team. And it feels fantastic. They were down early, but Quinnipiac was relentless. Yes, we were down 12-0 within the first 15 minutes of the game. But it was 3 tries right back into the row after each other. And to be honest, I thought I just did my job. I kind of just passed the ball out, did what I'm a fly half, so kind of reading the defense and passed it off to Alona, and then she passed it off, and it was just beautiful play. The Bobcats were dominant all season long, including a 213-0 win against Castleton. A lot of people thought that was a typo. No, it was not a typo. So it's actually quite interesting. We've had a lot of backlash with that win. People questioning, couldn't you have gone easy on them or something like that? And not really. Rugby is the only thing stopping you from the try line is a person tackling you, because we could literally just run straight and they couldn't tackle very well. So it was an interesting game. So to say if we could have gone easy on them, that would actually entail us to pretty much tackle ourselves. Yeah, they rallied up pretty fast. We do better when we're under pressure. We do better when we have to prove ourselves and work together. Being a part of both the national titles, Flora Poole is heading into her senior year where she is going to be looked at as a team leader. Personally, just supporting, like what I can do is just supporting the people, like the juniors, the sophomores, and the freshmen coming in, and introducing them and how to be a part of this team and what our rules and our values are, and the accountability. Accountability is one of our big team goals. And values, what QU Rugby stands for. So leadership, motivation, unity, believing in yourself, just teaching and encouraging athletes to come in wanting to be the best person and the best athlete that they can be. During her time in New Zealand, Flora Poole actually survived 2 different earthquakes. When this earthquake happened, it was a 7.1 in 2010 in September. It was actually a tiny little plate that hasn't moved in 16,000 years right below our city that we didn't even know existed. There's something absolutely terrifying about an earthquake because you always rely on the ground that you walk on. That's your constant, that's your foundation. But when your foundation moves, where do you go? The whole city legit came down. My mum was actually in the city centre that day. She was debating on whether to go into the cathedral, which later collapsed. Thankfully, everyone was okay for Flora and her family after the earthquakes, but New Zealand, despite its problems, has definitely taught Flora a lot. And rugby's everywhere. Everywhere in New Zealand. It's on every Saturday night. everybody goes over to their friend's house, like a gathering of 20 people, and watches the rugby. That's what they do. I remember going to Jade Stadium and I was asking my dad, "Dad, what are the posts for? Why are they passing backwards?" I had no idea. So definitely it was New Zealand that I picked everything up from.
Despite rugby being huge in New Zealand and her learning how to play in New Zealand, coming to America taught her a lot more than she ever anticipated.
They taught me the passion behind the game. Everything that's not the technical side of rugby, I'd say I learned from New Zealand. The technical side, I definitely learned more here. So how to pass correctly, like the structures of doing that. You know, all the technical stuff that keeps you safe. Still do have a dominant side, but the other side is definitely a lot better than it was when I first arrived.
Flora Pools lived quite the eventful life. From England to New Zealand to Germany and now here to Quinnipiac to play rugby. She has survived 2 earthquakes, she has survived an ACL tear, and now has won 2 straight national championships for the Quinnipiac Bobcats. She was also the only player in the team this year to score a point in every single game. She looks to improve upon this next season, which is her senior year, to lead Quinnipiac to 3 straight national championships. I'm Matthew Pisani, reporting here from Quinnipiac University. Back to you in the studio. Thank you for joining me tonight for this QNN newscast. I am Matthew Pisani. Have a great night.